Okay, shalom, shalom. Kwam Yasha Allah. Koholoim la Yahweh Bahashim Yahushai Bahashim Rakahakodash. Double honors to our apostles and the elders of Great Millstone who rule well and that by the Spirit taught us this beautiful truth. And just want to say the water to all the H.I.M and Akwaf that's out here sincerely keeping the laws, the statutes, and commandments of Yahweh Bahashim Yahushai to the best of their ability. This is Yachanan Awaf, just coming at you with another quick lesson, praying that it's edifying by the Spirit. And this is Director Ava DuVernay, if I'm pronouncing her name right, probably butchering it. But anyway, just wanted to touch on this article with, she done an interview. I'm not going to play it because copyright reasons, but I'll just read through it a little bit. But mainly the point is that she opens up about not choosing to marry or have children. I just don't want to, right? And then at the age that she's at, she's really too damn old for it anyway. Because she's, I think like 52, 53 or something like that. And, once you've lived that life of being so-called independent, it would take a real simp to even deal with probably somebody like her, because she would be too headstrong. She has lived a life of independence all to herself, and it would be hard to break, type of deal, or she wouldn't be a submissive wife, so to speak. Overall, that's me speaking as a man, but that's generally how it works out. Okay, but it says she's sharing her thoughts on choosing not to get married or have children, opening up about her personal decision in a recent interview. In an exclusive preview of her appearance on the Unusual Suspects podcast, hosted by Kenya Barris and Malcolm Gladwell, the acclaimed director behind Selma discussed her life choices. When asked if she would have made different decisions and if given the chance to start her career again, she's 52. The 52-year-old filmmaker said she wouldn't change a thing. She explained, "I never felt the urge to get married or have kids. As the oldest of 5, I've had plenty of experiences with children, and I just never had that desire." And so, a lot of the times when you're the oldest child like that, you generally raise the other children. Especially in the Americas, it's not like the ancient days, where, you were, a part of the family, you would help with the family and things of that nature. But here in the Americas, that job is kind of like thrown on the oldest child. The mama, she's still out doing what the fuck she want to do. Probably wasn't no dad in the home. But, she's probably the oldest, probably was doing all the cooking, braiding hair, fucking washing dishes and cleaning the house. And she's probably looking after all her siblings. And probably was like, it happens though. Some people like, hey, when I get away from this shit, I'm not doing it. When I get, of age, so to speak. It says she explained, "I've never felt the urge to get married or have kids. As the oldest of 5, I've had plenty of experience with children, and I just never had that desire." See, that she probably was warned by her mom on raising those other children, your other 4 siblings, right? DuVernay went on to share that while her mother once hoped she'd eventually change her mind about having children, because every mother they want to be grandmothers. She feels that motherhood isn't something she's suited for. "I don't think I would be a good mother, and I don't want to take that on unless I was completely sure it was something I wanted to do. I think you should want to have children, and I just don't." See? So she'll die with a damn dog or a cat. And mainly, she has that mindset because she lives in the Americas, man. So let me grab this real quick. Let's get. This is actually a serpent lifestyle. This is what the serpent presented to Eve. That philosophy of, no, you can just have a career, you can be what the man can be, and just go after your own heart's desires. Don't worry about carrying on no lineage or any of that. You just be you. You be selfish. And that's pretty much all what it boils down to. Isaiah 5:20. Yeah, our women have really drunken of that Babylonian juice. And it's not going to be pretty for them in these end times. Because really, she would be like what you would call a wasted woman. You just here. You just really a useless eater. You're not here. What are you doing? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and I'm not saying because some people, if the Lord just has you barren, that's something different. You know what I'm saying? Where you just can't have children. That's something different. But to just you know, go about it and like, I'm just gonna use. I'm still gonna have sex, but I'm just not gonna, have no children, because I'm sure she's not a virgin, and she probably done had plenty of abortions. Ain't no telling. Isaiah 5:20. Woe unto them that call evil good and good evil, that put darkness for light and light for darkness, that put bitter for sweet and sweet for bitter. And this is generally what has happened in the so-called white man's world. He has turned everything upside down. He has made it to the point where a woman, matter of fact, let me get this, because she has that ability to gad abroad, she's out here just like, well, I want my career. But you 52 years old and just here. She might be able to say, well, I got plenty of nieces and nephews. Okay, but, you're really, the Lord placed us here to basically multiply. And she doesn't want to play ball. And she's not going to play ball because of how Esau set her up. Ecclesiasticus 25, also known as the book of Sirach. It says, give the water no passage, neither a wicked woman liberty to gad abroad. And see, that's the problem with a lot of women. They have the ability to get up and go about life, and the so-called white man has told them, hey, look, you can be what you want. You don't have to be tied down to no man. You don't even need a man. I'll take care of you. Don't even worry about none of that. I'll give you your career. You can go and travel places. You can hang out as late as you want. You can, just do what you want to do. Don't worry about it. And our women have really drinking up that wine of Babylon. Let me see what else was in. We pretty much got what we needed out of the article. She also reflected on her career and lifestyle might not align with traditional expectations of women. See, there you go. That's just exactly what I was pretty much saying. Especially when it comes to marriage. Marriage for me feels like it would make me act in a way that's too conventional. Being on set in New Zealand, shooting with a helicopter, these are things not typically associated with women in traditional roles. See? When asked if her choices have made romantic relationships harder, she was clear, I'm not asking for a husband or a partner to follow me around. If you're seeking a traditional relationship where someone stays by your side while you chase your dreams, it might be tougher, but that's not what I'm looking for. Well, hey, that's the reason why you're 52 and you're not married. And any dude that's along the lines of, anybody that would be pretty much in her area anyway, you know what I'm saying? Any guy with some sense, they won't be dealing with no shit like that. Like, she need to just be single for the rest of her life and go on ahead with that bullshit. Because what you would call so-called a high-valued man, he'd be a fool to deal with somebody like this. That would just be complete foolishness. So now let's go into the scriptures. We'll get a couple of our foremothers, because being married and having children in the ancient days was, man, that was all you wanted as a woman. Especially having children, you was looked down upon, really. If you felt ashamed if you didn't have children. Now this is an example with Samuel, his mother, right? And let me just start from the top. Samuel 1:1. There was a man named Elkanah. I'm gonna read it in the NOT, the New Living Translation, who lived in Ramah, in the region of Zuph, in the hill country of Ephraim. He was the son of Jeroham, son of Elihu, son of Tohu, son of Seraph, and of Ephraim. Elkanah had two wives, Hannah and Peninnah. Peninnah had children, but Hannah did not. So there was a time period too as well, which we're gonna go back to these things. There's not gonna be no such thing as our women out here just fucking in New Zealand talking about, I don't want to get married and have no children because I don't want to be a traditional wife. No, she's not gonna be traveling nowhere like that in our kingdom. They're gonna be traditional housewives again. And we're gonna go back to our original state. And we're gonna also go back to having multiple wives, because you can clearly see right here, Elkanah, he had two wives. You're not gonna see nowhere in the scriptures where the Lord was like, well, why did you have two wives? Nope. The scriptures promotes men having two wives. Salakia, not just two wives, but multiple wives. You had 10 of them if you could afford it. King Solomon had 700 wives and 300 concubines. The Lord never said that he was against this. He actually said to be fruitful and multiply. But of course, Esau, the so-called white man, he wants you to one woman to be fucking ruling over your ass. He don't want you ruling over her, but he wants her ruling over you. So it's best to not even get married in this man's kingdom, and we just wait until we, get to our own kingdom. But it says each year Elkanah would travel to Shiloh to worship and sacrifice to the Lord of heaven's armies at the tabernacle. Slakia. The priests of the Lord at that time were the two sons of Eli, Hophni, and Phinehas, right? Okay, verse 4 says, on the days of Elkanah presented his sacrifice, he would give portions of the meat to Peninnah and each of her children. And though he loved Hannah, he would give her only one choice portion because the Lord had given her no children. So Peninnah would taunt Hannah and make fun of her because the Lord had kept her from having children. That was a big deal back then. Year after year, it was the same. Peninnah would taunt Hannah as they went to the tabernacle. Each time, Hannah would be reduced to tears and would not even eat. Why are you crying, Hannah? Elkanah would ask. Why aren't you eating? Why be downhearted just because you have no children? You have me. Isn't that better than having 10 sons? Once after the sacrificial meal at Shiloh, Hannah got up and went to pray. Eli the priest was sitting at his customary place beside the entrance of the tabernacle. Hannah was in deep anguish, crying bitterly as she prayed to the Lord. As she made this vow, O Lord of heaven's armies, if you would look upon my sorrow and answer my prayer and give me a son, then I will give him back to you. He will be yours for his entire lifetime. And as a sign that he has been dedicated to the Lord, his hair would never be cut. As she was praying to the Lord, Eli watched. Seeing her lips moving but hearing no sound, he thought she had been drinking. Must you come here drunk? He demanded. Throw away your wine. Oh, no, sir, she replied. I haven't been drinking wine or anything stronger, but I am very discouraged, and I was pouring out my heart to the Lord. Don't think I am a wicked woman, for I have been praying out of great anguish of sorrow. In that case, Eli said, go in peace. May the God of Israel grant the request you have asked of him. And basically, hey, she went hardcore. She was crying and praying to the Lord for children, and mainly a son, because she understood that the sons were the ones that carried on the lineage, man. That's how seed line moves. That's how lineage and the family tree continues. The progenitor of a race comes from the man. The woman has absolutely nothing to do with the rate of the ethnicity of children. And you can get that account. Let's get Numbers chapter 1 real quick in verse 18. But there's plenty of accounts in the scriptures where the woman couldn't have children, and it was a shame to him. Because you had, in the situation of John the Baptist's mother. She was old when she had John the Baptist. You had Sarah and Isaac when Isaac was born. Abraham and Sarah, they were old, man. She was just like, they had done given up. Like, man, it's a wrap. You know what I'm saying? Like, we too old for. But the Lord, with His power, gave him. The Scripture says that anything is possible with the Lord. Nothing is impossible with Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. But this is Numbers chapter 1 and 18. It says, and they assembled all the congregation together on the first day of the second month, and they declared their pedigrees, which is your family, your ancestry, after their families by the house of their fathers. See that? According to the number of the names, from 20 years old and upward by their polls, because she could have easily been begging the Lord for a daughter. But why not? Why was she so begging and going so hard and praying to Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai for a son? Because that's the way that it was. Because see, a lot has changed now. See, you see, the world is flipped upside down with Esau running it. Like that Isaiah 5 and 20 we first read. This man switches everything upside down. So he has made it seem as if the most important part of the family is the woman. Like she's the head. And that's not scriptural, man. I think that's, what is that? 1 Corinthians. Let me see. Let me just put it in like this. First Corinthians 11:3. But I will have you know that the head of every man is Yahushai, and the head of the woman is the man. See? And the head of Yahushai is Yahweh. And that lets you know too right there that Yahushai, which the world ignorantly calls Jesus, he's not God, because it clearly says right here that the Father is above him. So you got the order of the Father, the Son, you got the Father Yahweh, the Son Yahushai, the man, then the woman, and then the children. And this is why this lady, she's sitting there talking about traditional, what did she say? Let's go back to what she was talking about. Because she know there ain't no man dealing with this shit. Ain't nobody beating down her goddamn door, man, trying to deal with her ass. Let me see. What did she say? She said, I am not asking for a husband or a partner to follow me around. If you're seeking a traditional relationship where someone stays by your side, where you chase your dreams, it might be tougher, but that's not what I'm looking for. So see, there you have it. She, that traditional, what she's calling traditional, but it's not actually traditional. It's actually some new age shit. You know what I'm saying? Because traditionally a woman would, be at home, taking care of the house and taking care of the children, taking care of her husband. You know what I'm saying? And this lady will probably tell you she's a Christian. I'm pretty certain she'll tell you she believes in white Jesus. But of course, a lot of these women, they get to talking all that stuff, man. They don't really actually believe in the scriptures, man. So you know what I'm saying? But clearly, the man is the head. The woman is, in line after that, but not here in the Americas. And pretty much not in Esau's kingdom, period, Wherever the so-called white man is ruling at, he has the man all hunkered down, just working hard as fuck and worshiping a damn woman, and he can't even have another woman, They call it cheating, and all that bullshit, and that's not scriptural. What these people will tell you, that's why the scripture talks about, what hast thou to do to declare my statutes? Like you so-called white people, you have absolutely no business with the Bible, because you stole the scriptures, whitewashed everything, and then you pushed on everybody that you were the righteous, but you don't keep nothing in the scripture, so we know that's not you. Psalms 50:16, but unto the wicked, Yahweh said, what hast thou to do to declare my statutes, or that thou shouldest take my covenant in thy mouth, seeing thou hatest instructions and castest my words behind thee? See? And all of a sudden, Trump, he's in there like he care about kids and shit, but you still have abortion centers throughout the Americas. You don't really care about your people. The Lord, he wanted us to be fruitful and multiply. But this man, he got Planned Parenthoods all over the place, where you so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, man, you can go and, kill the damn baby. Right? But he's telling you that he's the righteous. Trump out here selling Make America Great Again Bibles and shit. Acting as if he's a damn Christian. You know what I'm saying? Like, what are you doing with the Bible, bro? You're not breaking down or changing anything in these Americas. You see, you trying to get rid of these immigrants and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? But what about supposedly you making America great again and supposedly bringing it back to, it's Christian standards, so to speak? Why aren't you getting rid of all these idols here? Why aren't you moving out all these Muslims? Why aren't you moving out all these people that are into these different religions? These Buddhists, these Hinduism people, these, why aren't you doing all that? Why aren't you deporting these people? Why aren't you getting rid of the LGBTQ? See? So the man is a goddamn hypocrite, and America is hypocritical in itself as well, Because again, like I said, this lady, it is what it is. She's too damn old to even be. I don't even know why they even brought the subject up with her. But she's another one of those Vivica Foxes, another one of those, Lisa Ray's. You know what I'm saying? Like nobody who nobody's beating down your door, man. Nobody, you're not the most attractive lady, you know what I'm saying? And at 52, like who's gonna deal with that? You might be able to get you a little youngster that you can have tag along with you, you know what I'm saying? And and get to doing some things to you, and you can just I guess use the protection and have your feel. But other than that, man, ain't nobody. Your life is through. That shit is over with. Because what's the average lifespan here in the Americas anyway? And we're not trying to take it that far, but shit, if you live to be 80, You don't have number 28 years left. You know what I'm saying? Because the lifespan here in America, man, this shit is trash. It's through, man. You know. But also, like I said again, you know, you can go through. You had Leah and Rachel. Let me see. This is the situation with Leah and Rachel, right? Because Leah could have children at the time, but Rachel couldn't. But she wanted those children. Let me see. Oh, right. Let's see. Let's go in here right here. Genesis 29 and 31. So like you didn't even go to it. So Leah and Rachel both had handmaids, and Jacob was dealing with all of them. He had 4 women. The 12 tribes of Israel come from 4 women, and the average Christian don't know that. But they'll tell you, "Oh no, that's not right. That was Old Testament." Man, look, the Lord hasn't changed, man, and we're going back to having multiple women, man. Let me see. Yeah, verse 30. Let's see. Let's start at verse 30. I'm gonna read it in the NLT, the New Living Translation. Get a little this day and time type speech on it. So Jacob slept with Rachel. So Jacob slept with Rachel too. Let me see. Should I start up one? Okay. Yeah, let me just start there. So Jacob slept with Rachel too, and he loved her much more than Leah. He then stayed and worked for Laban the additional 7 years, and when the Lord saw that Leah was unloved, he enabled her to have children, but Rachel could not. See, she couldn't conceive. So Leah became pregnant and gave birth to a son. She named him Reuben, for she said, "The Lord has noticed my misery, and now my husband will love me." She soon became pregnant again and gave birth to another son. She named him Simeon, for she said, "The Lord heard that I was unloved and has given me another son." Then she became pregnant again, a third time, right, and gave birth to another son. She named him Levi, for she said, "Surely this time my husband will feel affection for me, since I have given him 3 sons." Once again, Leah became pregnant and gave birth to another son, right? And she named him Judah, for she said, "Now I will praise the Lord." And then she stopped having children, right? Let's see. Genesis 30 and 1, when Rachel saw that she wasn't having any children for Jacob, she became jealous of her sister. She pleaded with Jacob, "Give me children or I'll die." And Jacob became furious with Rachel. "Am I God?" he asked. "He's the one who has kept you from having children." See, because the Lord is the father of spirits. Then Rachel told him, "Take my maid Bilhah and sleep with her. She will bear children for me, and through her I can have a family too." So she wanted kids so bad that she gave her husband this other chick. To you Christians, you so-called Christian women, that's how bad she wanted kids. "Well, here's my maid servant Bilhah. Go into her." So he went in there, he popped her too, got her pregnant. So Rachel gave her servant Bilhah to Jacob as a wife, and he slept with her. Bilhah became pregnant and presented him with a son. Rachel named him Dan, for she said, "God has vindicated me." So this is, because Rachel owned the handmaid, she considered these to be her children. "He has heard my request and given me a son." Then Bilhah became pregnant again and gave Jacob a second son. Rachel named him Naphtali, for she said, "I have struggled hard with my sister and I'm winning." Meanwhile, Leah realized that she wasn't getting pregnant anymore, so she took her servant Zilpah and gave her to Jacob as a wife. So Jacob dealing with 4 women right here. Soon Zilpah presented him with a son. Leah named him Gad, for she said, "How fortunate I am." Then Zilpah gave Jacob a second son, and Leah named him Asher, for she said, "What joy is mine. Now the other women will celebrate with me." See, this was a big thing, man, to have children, man. One day during the wheat harvest, Reuben found some mandrakes growing in the field and brought them to his mother, Leah. Rachel begged Leah, "Please give me some of your son's mandrakes." But Leah angrily replied, wasn't it enough that you stole my husband? Now will you steal my son's mandrakes too? Rachel answered, I will let Jacob sleep with you tonight if you give me some of the mandrakes. So they see this is what was going on, man. And they had order. It wasn't like they was just like, you know what, I'm gonna step out on this nigga. I'm gonna go get me some rods somewhere else. It wasn't all that running around and you got all these, because you knew what was up. It was a harsh punishment on women that, you know what I'm saying, that committed adultery outside of their marriage, man. See? But in this day and time, a woman can be like, oh, See, they look at the Bible and see it as being stupid when they read stuff like this. Oh, I wouldn't dare. What kind of God is that? That was a long time ago. That's the Old Testament. But they don't understand, like, hey, these things are coming back, man. Matter of fact, you got Isaiah 4:1 coming into play. You get that. But I just wanted to just make the point of, you know, what this lady is talking about is complete foolishness. Because she has that ability to gad abroad and just get out here and just live her life. But, you know, it's not going to be a good look for her ass in the end, because she's going to really want a man when shit hits the fans. Because that little career that she's got, that's going to be out of here. Ain't going to be no more of that shit. Isaiah 4:1, and in that day 7 women shall take hold of one man, saying, we will eat our own bread and wear our own apparel. Only let us be called by thy name to take away our reproach. See? In the New Living Translation, it says, in that day so few men will be left, that 7 women will fight for each man, saying, let us all marry you. We will provide our own food and clothing. Only let us take your name so we won't be mocked as old maids. So this is what's all about to jump off soon, man. All this, oh, look at me. I'm an influencer. I'm an actor. I'm an actress. I'm a singer. I want to be a rapper. I'm going after my career. You know, I'm going to college and I'm going to be this. I'm going to be that. Look, all that shit is coming to an abrupt end, man. So I'm going to end out there. There's plenty more examples in the scriptures, you know what I'm saying, with women wanting to have children, and it was a shame that they couldn't, man. To be barren for a woman, that was to be like, you might as well not even be born. So with that, I pray that the lesson was edifying. Kwam Yashala, Baba Boy.